Hello everyone and welcome to the STM32 Microcontroller tutorials. This is the tutorial number 3. In this tutorial we explain how to implement a C program in a STM32 microcontroller that will send digital signals to GPIO pins. The controlled GPIO pin will produce high and low voltages that will blink an external LED shown over here. This is a Hello World coding example for STM32 microcontrollers. Here's a close view of our experimental setup. We are using a Nucleo 64 STM32 board. However, everything explained in this video tutorial can be generalized to other types of STM32 boards and microcontrollers, as long as you can find the corresponding board schematics. The external circuit consists of an LED that is attached to the pin PB5 of the STM32 board, or equivalently the pin D4. This pin sends either 3.3 volts or 0 volts with the pulse width of 1 second. That is, the voltage is 3.3 volts for 1 second and then it is 0 for 1 second. These periodic pulses produce LED blinking. The LED is connected to the ground by using a 200 ohm resistor. You can also use, for example, 330 ohm or 1000 ohm resistors. Here's a simple schematics of our circuit. Here's our PB5 or D4 pin of our STM32 board. Here's our LED. Then here's our resistor. Over here you can see the oscilloscope with the voltage readings. The oscilloscope probe is actually attached to the pin of our STM32 microcontroller. And you can clearly see on the oscilloscope screen the pulses. You can see on for 1 second, then off for 1 second. And these are the pulses that are sent by the STM32 board. But before I start with explanations, I need to mention the following. It took me a significant amount of time, energy and planning to create this completely free video tutorial, as well as almost 500 free video tutorials that you can find on my YouTube channel. And consequently, I kindly ask you to press the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks a lot. Okay, let's start with explanations. Before we write even a single line of code, it is very important to find the proper schematic and diagrams of our board. Consequently, over here in Google, you need to type the name of your board and the product number. In my case, I'm using this board. Then, click over here and click on documentation. Then, find this section called User Manuals and open this file. There are several pages in this manual that are very important for us. The first page is the page number 13. So let's find that page. Here it is. This page shows the layout of our board. In this tutorial, we are using the pin called D4 to send the voltage pulses. However, there is one issue over here. The issue is that the names for pins shown over here are actually not used to code the STM32 microcontroller. We use different names for these pins. For example, this pin D4 is actually denoted by pin PB5 when we are actually coding the STM32 microcontroller. To see the correct names and the correct notation for coding the STM32 microcontroller, you need to go to the page 35. In your case, the page number might be different. This is because this diagram shows the specifications for my board. Now, what do we observe over here? We can see that the pin D4 is actually the pin PB5, and this is very important. Here we need to explain another important thing. You can see that the pins are denoted as PB3, PB4, or PA8, or even PC1. So what do these letters actually mean? For example, what is PB and what is PA? Let's explain this important notation. PA5 means pin 5 at the GPIO port A. On the other hand, PB5 means pin 5 at the GPIO port B, where GPIO stands for General Purpose Input Output. So going back to our board schematics, we can see that the pins are grouped, or better to say organized, in GPIO ports. For example, PA2, PA3, PA8 actually belong to the GPIO port A, and these numbers denote the pin number inside of that port. Similarly, PB3, PB5, PB4 are actually pins belonging to the GPIO port B. Here is a simplified diagram of our circuit. We connect our LED to the pin PB5 of our STM32 microcontroller. Then, we connect this LED to the ground by using a resistor of 200 ohm. If you don't have a 200 ohm resistor, you can also use a resistor of 300 ohm or 1000 ohm. Okay, this ground is actually connected to the ground shown over here. Then, PB5 is actually here. Then we will have an LED, and that LED through a resistor will be connected to the ground, and that's it. Okay, now we are ready to start with coding. The first step is to open our STM32 Cube IDE development environment. So click on Start and search for STM32 Cube IDE and open the development environment. Then click on File, click on New, and click on STM32 Project. Over here, click on Board Selector and search for your board. In my case, it's Nucleo 64, so I will select this button over here, and over here you need to find your board number. Here's my board. Consequently, I will click on my board and I will click on Next. Then I will give the name to my project. I will call the project Hello World 3 and click on Finish. And over here, click on Yes. Then, after some time, you will see this very important figure showing the pinout and the configuration. And over here, we will have to do a few adjustments. Now, if you zoom in this figure, or better to say this graph, you can actually see all the pins over here. So here's our pin PB5. We also have other pins over here. Next, we need to properly configure this pin. So do double click on this pin and you will see this menu over here. And over here, you need to select GPIO output. This is very important. After you do that, you will see that this pin is colored by using the green color. This is very important to keep in mind, since we are now using this pin. Next, you need to click on System Core and you need to click on GPIO. Then expand this window over here. Again, let me show you how to get to this window. Click on System Core, double click on GPIO and expand it over here. Let's double click on PB5 and let's adjust the properties of our PB5. Over here we will specify the GPIO output level that's used during the initialization. We will select low. Then we need to select the GPIO mode. You have several options over here, however we will keep output push pull. Then we will not change this option. Here we can specify the maximum output speed. We can select, for example, medium, and we can give a label to our pin. For example, let's call this pin LED or LD2. No, LD2 is actually used internally by STM32, so let's call this LD, for example, 5. Okay, press enter, and after you do that, you will see that now our pin configuration is modified. This is very important. Next, you need to click over here to generate the code corresponding to this configuration. Don't forget to do this. Click over here and click on yes. And now you need to wait for a while. Okay. Next, let's verify several things. First of all, double-click here on core, double-click on include, and open the main.h. That is, open the header file for our main file. Okay, now if you go down, you can see over here definitions. Let's try to locate our pin. Where it is? Here it is. LD5. Remember that I called my pin as LD5. Another thing to keep in mind that we are also defining implicitly over here the GPIO port for our LD5. Now, in this tutorial, I will refer to this pin by using this definition, and I'm not going to use this name. I will use the original name, GPIO pin 5, and I will use GPIO B. This is very important. Next, let's open our main file. We can do that by double-clicking on source and double-click on main. And let's scroll down. If you scroll all the way down, you will find this function. This function is used to initialize our system and to initialize our pins. Now, if you scroll down, you can actually see these 5 lines of codes that are used to initialize our PB5 pin. Note that the PB5 pin is actually called by LD5. Over here we can see that we specified the GPI mode to be push-pull. Remember that we did that graphically. Then this is another option that we graphically specified, GPIO no pull. And over here we specify that the speed of access, that is the speed of communication with that pin, is medium, and over here we actually specify the pin properties. This is very important to keep in mind. And without even doing everything what I did graphically, you can manually adjust this piece of code and you can properly set and configure your pins. And finally, let's write the code that will blink our LED. So scroll all the way to the top of the file and locate the int main function. Here it is. Over here, you will see this while loop. And in this while loop, you will enter the code. Here is the code. Let's explain this code line by line. However, let me first organize this code like this. So what's happening over here? I'm using this function HAL GPIO write pin to communicate with my pin. That is to send either 0 or 1. 0 corresponds to 0 voltage or low voltage, and 1 corresponds to maximum voltage, that is to the voltage of 3.3 volts. First input argument of this function is the name of the port. Since the PB5 pin is at the port B, over here we need to specify GPIO B. Right click on GPIO and click on Open Declaration. And you can see this thing over here. Another thing that will help you to properly understand what is GPIO is to open the main.h file. You can do that by clicking on INC and by double clicking on main.h. And you can see over here the port name. Go back to the main file. Okay, that was the first input argument, the name of the port. The second input argument is the name of the actual pin. PB5, 5 correspond to the pin number. Consequently, over here we specify GPIO pin 5. And again, do the right click and click on Open Declaration. You can see over here its declaration. Go back to the main C file, and the final input argument is the value of voltage. 0 corresponds to low voltage and 1 corresponds to high voltage. We are sending high. Then over here, we wait for 1 second. Notice that the input argument of this function is expressed as milliseconds. So if you want your code to be, for example, paused for 500 milliseconds, that is for 0.5 seconds, you will write here 500. However, let's keep 1000. After that, we will write to the same pin PB5 low voltage. Consequently, first the name of the port, the name of the pin, and 0. And after that, again, we delay the code for 1 second. And that's it. Let's first build this code. Click on Project and click on Build Project. 0 errors, 0 warnings. Okay, now we are ready to upload the code. Connect your board to the USB port, and after you do that, click over here. Select the default options and click on OK. And here it is. You will see that your main LED on your board is flashing, and after some time you will actually notice that the code is downloaded, as you can see over here, and your LED should be blinking right now. I will repeat the complete procedure once more. Over here I will change my delay. For example, let's say 3 seconds on and 1 second off. Then again, project, build project. After that, you simply can click over here to run, and you need to wait for a while. And once you see this download verified successfully, everything should be fine. And now the LED should stay on for 3 seconds and off for 1 second. Okay, that's all for today. I hope that you like this video. If you like the videos I'm creating, please press the like and subscribe buttons, and see you in the next video tutorial.